full upright position. It's another episode of Skip Happens. A view from 30,000 feet. From the first music lesson to the first paid gig to signing the deal, it's the journey that is the life of an artist. Now, here's your captain and co-captain, a.k.a. your hosts, Skip Clark and Deb Lamphere.
I got to tell you, I'm flying alone tonight. My co-host is actually in Nashville. We just got back a couple of days ago. She spent about 2 hours at home, and it seems like that. And she jumped back on a plane, and she's back in Nashville. So Deb won't be with us here tonight, so I'm flying alone. Hopefully that's okay. Hey, y'all, it's
alone.
I love this. Skip Clark, of course, the host of Skip Happens, and my good friend Molly Diago is joining us here tonight. And there is so much to talk about. Wait a minute, we go back quite a ways. How far do we go back?
Forever. It feels like forever.
It's been a long time.
Years and years, for sure.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Where are you right now?
I am, I'm in Connecticut, actually pretty close to Boston-ish, just over the border of Mass. So I'm a New Englander now.
Yeah. So are you living there?
Yep.
Wow.
Most of the time. Yeah.
Do you make your way back to, well, we're located in central New York. That's where the podcast comes from. And of course, you're a central New Yorker. Do you make your way back this way at all?
Yeah, I do. My family's there. My parents are there. Actually, I think you know one of them quite well. He's still drumming. So whenever I get a chance to come home, I come and, hang out with my favorite people in the world, Syracuse folks.
Well, so that means I guess I'm not one of your favorite people because I haven't seen you. No, I know. Well, you know what it is? We're all so busy, and there's only so much time to spend with your family, and I get that. But all kidding aside, you're always welcome in the Pod Zone here. So next time you come in,
absolutely.
So we're talking with Molly Diago, and she's a guitarist, and she's pretty hot at playing the guitar, hot at everything she does. I see lots of pictures of you with the horses, and which is pretty cool. And but you've played alongside people like Frankie, Ballard, the All American Rejects. Who else?
Oh man, well, there's been a lot of different people. But honestly, my favorite people are all Syracuse folks. I have so many friends back in Syracuse. Just the bands throughout the time that I've I think we did. We had gigs with Country Swag. We had gigs with. TJ, we had gigs with, so those are the Nationals are fun too, but man, those Syracuse guys, they know how to throw down.
Do you feel intimidated when you play with the Nationals as opposed to hanging out with your friends? Maybe that sounds like a dumb question, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess sometimes, but at the end of the day, they're all the same. Like some of them are jerks, some of them are great. Take it with a grain of salt and you keep going. So I guess Syracuse is kind of the same too, but everybody loves each other at the end of the day, I think, in Syracuse, regardless of what, the Syracuse music scene Facebook group says.
Describe your music.
I want to say that it's, sort of on the modern rock side. It's a delicate balance between a lot of guitar, because of course it's my favorite, and then, some vocals. And I think that, as a vocalist, I'm still pretty new. So to get that confidence to sort of come up and not hide behind the guitar has been a really big theme in the music. And hopefully this song that we actually just released today does a little bit of a better job than maybe past songs and sort of, bringing my vocals to the forefront. So I don't know if that even answers your question, but.
No, I get it. I totally get it. And let's take it back to the beginning. When did you start getting into music? At what age?
I played the clarinet first and foremost when I was 7, 8, 9, whenever one starts playing the clarinet. And then I went and I saw the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I was in love with the guitar ever since then at the On Center. I remember the next day on the school bus, because of course it was a school night, I was half awake, but I was yes, I want to do this. I want to learn guitar. And like I said, I think 12 or 13, I got a guitar for my birthday that year, and I've just not stopped since. So,
are you self-taught?
To a small extent, I guess. I remember when I first started, all parents who get their kids a guitar also like, feels obligated, I guess, to buy them lessons sometimes. Yeah. So I did the like 4 lessons, and then I'm like, I can do this. So, I kind of went off on my own, but I did train with Chris Caffrey from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, who actually, he was a huge influence on sort of how I play now. So he helped a lot. And then YouTube is the best. Like you can YouTube anything and like, feel
Everything.
Like you're at it 10 minutes later.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think we all go to YouTube to find out how to do something, whether it's learning how to play the guitar or change a tire. I mean, it's everything, anything and everything's on YouTube. But your dad's in a band.
Yep, he is.
Yeah, and he's still playing around town. I know that. And
he is, but I couldn't even tell you what the band. I think Tom Nitty he might play with, which is maybe.
I just know, Tom. I know Tom, and haven't seen your dad in a while, but I know he's playing. So
he is. Yeah, he loves it. Like he loves that life. I don't know what it is, but packing up drums at 2 a.m, he just loves it. So kudos to him,
Well, you must love that life too, because this is what you're doing. Not only have you become an attorney, am I right? That's amazing. We're going to talk. I don't know how you did that, girl. I have no idea with everything else you got going on, but you're writing music, you're performing music. You've been with some of the big ones. I mean, you are somebody that we're all proud of in this neck of the woods because you've done something with your life and you've done it very, very well. And you have just dropped a brand new single. Like you said, it came out today. It's not exactly country. We'll play it here in a few minutes, but I got it. I love it. Absolutely love it. And not only that, it's a birthday present to yourself.
Exactly. And that's,
happy birthday.
Thank you. Tomorrow, I feel like every hour that goes by, I'm getting older. And I am, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it every single day. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot. But it's funny, like everybody I meet, and actually I see some friends in here in this little chat from Connecticut. I'm so proud to be from Syracuse. And even, people around me every day, anytime I can get a chance to say, yeah, I'm from Syracuse, whether it's the one big thing here is nobody can drive in the snow, right? Well, you know how to drive in the snow. So like, even then, like I'm consistently so proud of being from Syracuse and I love all the people there. And, I miss it every day. And I think that when I first started, like, doing cover bands and I had my little sort of original act that ended up sort of doing some stuff. There's nothing more fun than sort of the camaraderie that you have with those folks there, and at the bars and the little open mic nights. Like I'll cherish those memories forever. Even at the time, like I was like, "What is this?" But it's the best. So I miss you guys so much.
I see Samantha just chimed in and said representing from Syracuse, so that's cool, and a little orange next to that. So yeah,
she I believe is also Syracuse alumni.
Excellent.
Law alumni.
So is that where you got your law degree?
It is, yes,
wow.
Of course.
And what if you
orange all the way?
If I know we're going to be talking music, but you also being into law, being an attorney, what part of that field are you specializing in?
So I do a lot of boring stuff. A lot of two real focuses that I have. Number one, I do some entertainment law for my friends. I get calls every day from my friends that I meet here through music, always having issues. So that's really number one. But I didn't really purposely do that. I guess it just happens when they find out that you're an attorney. But secondarily, right out of law school, I was fortunate to sort of team up with a guy who was sort of really into like fundraising for nonprofits and stuff. So I sort of ventured off into nonprofit law. And so I do a little bit of that too, when I can. So boring, but also like enriching, I guess, at the end of the day.
No, it's interesting. It's interesting. And why did you do that? I thought it's your dream and your passion to be an artist. And then you have this, I don't know if it's a side gig or not. You're a lawyer. That's amazing. It's amazing.
It's a little bit of a funny back up, I suppose, to have. Like usually it's the other way around, but my mother would not let me just do music. And this was before I had a lot of the success. I remember I had one big audition for like a really large group in New York City. And it was like 4 rounds of auditioning. Like we started out 90 guitar players and we got down to 6. And like the last day with the final 6, I told myself, listen, I'm going to get this gig and I'm going to be a musician and that's it. Or I'm not going to get the gig. And, you know, my mom is making me do more school. So as you can tell what happened, I didn't get the gig. So like literally the next day I was applying to law school and I'm happy that I did it. It sucked the whole time, but I was able to still tour and do music while I was in law school.
Good.
Thankfully, I had like Syracuse was great. They worked with me so much to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So hated every second of it, but I'm happy that it's over and it's a good backup to have. And like I said, the one cool thing I guess I get to do is every time I meet folks in music, like I said, everybody always has a problem. So if I can help somebody else's problem, you know, friend that I'm making and hopefully will help, you know, down the road. So that's always good.
Yeah, exactly. And what about the horses?
Oh,
See, that's another whole angle of Molly Diago that we don't know about, right?
I know. Well, so during the pandemic, there was no touring or anything going on.
Correct.
And honestly, it's funny. You said something earlier, like if I like that 2 a.m. stuff, I hated it. Like I hated that. So the pandemic, I love staying home. I love going to bed at 8 o'clock. And what can you do that, you know, you're home every day and going to bed and it's horses. So I was able to build a little barn in my backyard right before the pandemic started. And so, yeah, I'm always out messing with my horses and they're so fun. I love them. And of course we have race horses.
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is fun.
Have you had horses all your life though?
Yeah, my family, since I was born, they've been into racehorses. And so that, cool. You know, now I own my own racehorses, which is exciting. And there's never a dull moment with them. So hopefully, fingers crossed for a good year this year. We had a good one last year.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm seeing the post. And I'm like, wow, look at this. It's pretty awesome. Let's talk about a little bit more about your music, though. Some of the people you've been able to sit down and write with, I know in the past I've seen some pictures with you with some pretty prominent artists. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and those experiences?
Sure. So there's been a lot. And I think, as you probably know from the folks you talked to on the show, especially in Music Row, like the level of collaboration, you know, in music and songwriting is like insane, but we don't get that as much on the rock side because people are very almost territorial and they just do their own thing. But I was super fortunate. The first real collaboration that I did was with Chuck Alkazian, who's a producer in Detroit, with Lifetime, which we might have had an interview again around that time with a guy named Hugo. Hugo is the lead singer of Tantric. Actually, I think I was on when we put out another song, my second song. First song was Lifetime with Hugo. And Waylon Reavis of Mushroomhead also collaborated on that, which was super fun. And then me and Hugo got together during the pandemic and put out another song, which I think you had that on your podcast when it came out 2 years ago.
I'm pretty sure we did.
And then this time around, I did more work with Waylon towards this new record, which was cool. But the real like dark horse in this whole situation for my new record is a guy named Sahaj Ticotin, who he is a lead singer of a band called Raw, which was really, really popular in the 2000s on the rock scene. And actually, driving to do this interview, they were on Sirius XM. So shout out to him. Cool. We worked together sort of through my album. And he's a like full scale producer. So like working with an actual producer who is a musician, you know, himself was like a whole other experience because not only was he able to like do everything so quickly, but like the thoughts and the thought process and just things that I wasn't thinking about, he was able to contribute to make something cool. And the song that, you know, came out today is our sort of first project together. And I was blown away like what he could make me do with my voice, and hopefully everybody else will be too. So
like a little bit of coaching and a little bit of enticing you to, you know, come on, Molly, get it out. You can do it. Absolutely. Is that how it goes?
Oh, totally. And then what's funny is Waylon and his wife Julie are two of my best friends ever. And they actually, Waylon, who's with The Killer's Confession now, tracked his record with Sahaj. And so he kind of recommended Sahaj to me. But Sahaj is really tough. He's really tough and he knows what he wants to get from you and you're going to do it, whether you say yes or no, or whether you can or you can't, he's going to make you do it. So Waylon brought me down to Florida and he gave me a mock session of what it's like to be with Sahaj. And I couldn't talk for like 5 days after the 2 hours with that. So After I went to Sahaj's, I was already a pro. I'm like, this is great. So I was super fortunate to have a friend put me through the boot camp, before I went. So that was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
For sure.
And how do you make these relationships? How do you get to know each other? How do you come across each other? How does all that work? You as an artist and not knowing anybody, then all of a sudden you're with everybody.
Literally. So it just kind of snowballs like that. And I'm sure you can relate to that too. The one thing, what really started it was Hugo. I had met Hugo, I think at a gig in Daytona. Like I had never seen the band before and I was living there. So I'm like, oh, I'll go out. And we became really good friends. And then we worked together. And I mean, I don't know if you know or not, but we had a very tumultuous relationship. And it was very public too. He was the original singer on my first single called Lifetime.
Okay.
And I was super excited, ready to put it out. And then we ended up fighting all the time. So I took him off and that's how I met Waylon. Waylon's like, all right, I'll come to the rescue and do it. And then Waylon, of course, ended up going to this label and I became friends with the label and all the artists on the label. So then it just grows and grows and grows from there. Once you meet one and it's drama, sometimes it's good times, other times, but usually it all works out.
It's networking. And it all works out. Exactly. It's the same thing on my side. I was just in Nashville last week at some meetings and some parties. But it's those people that you meet that know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And as you heard in the beginning, the voiceover from John Williard, and kudos to him. You hear him on all the award shows and the Burger King commercials and all that. He loves the podcast and said he wanted to do that, but it's all networking. That's how these things happen.
For sure. Even that, John Williard is pretty cool, let alone him having your intro. But I mean, it's 100% everybody know. And like I said, Julie and Waylon, they knowing them and they took me under their wing as an artist. And then from there, when I started growing my portfolio and what I was doing and what I was working with, both on guitar and, singing, as you said, it just blossoms. And soon, you wake up one day and John Williard is your podcasting, so.
Pretty much. I mean, I got home and there was an email and I went, oh my gosh, look what he did already.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm quite honored. I'm blessed. You're blessed. Big time. Big time. Sure. And let me ask you, what's the most useless talent that you have?
Ooh, I recently got into mini cake baking.
Mini cake baking?
Yes, I have a mini bun cake maker.
Is that like an easy bake oven?
It's incredible. I've spent so many hours perfecting the cakes. I got my neighbors into it now. In fact, one of my neighbors just dropped off a batch of mini cakes. So completely useless because, but
is that what somebody is? Just before we went on, I saw you walk by the camera with with
the cake,
with the cakes, I guess, with the mini cakes.
Absolutely. And now all my neighbors are into it. It's become a thing. So I would have to say that that's a pretty useless skill. Especially when I'm trying to work out every day, eat healthy every day. And then all of a sudden everything's disrupted by the mini cakes.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? What's your most useless?
Oh, my useless talent. I don't know. You want to know my most useless talent? God, I don't know. I really don't know. I love doing this, but
this isn't useless. This is wonderful what you're doing.
I know. My most useless talent. I really don't know. I really have to think about it.
I'm going to follow up with you on that.
You should. This is my life, whether it's here or it's inside a radio station or I'm in my voiceover booth. This is my life. This is what I do pretty much from the moment that I wake up till it's time to go to bed.
So you're saying I have too much time on my hands, which is totally true.
No, you don't even go down that road, Molly, because you don't. You've got the Esquire after your name.
I do.
You've got the horses. You're putting out a single, birthday girl. You are you're collaborating with a lot of big stars. And on that note, because you're from this area, and I know we have a lot of friends, mutual friends, probably watching this podcast, and maybe somebody that wants to do what you're doing. And they're going, man, that's awesome. I wonder how she did it. What advice would you give to somebody that's, trying to just get started and
Sure.
getting out there? Because you've done it. You've done it. What advice?
You know,
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
because let me tell you, there's so many, even today, like this roller coaster, and my manager can vouch for this. Like the roller coaster of emotion today alone was enough for me. I'm like, I quit, but no, I'm just kidding. I just think you gotta have tough, thick skin, and you're not, if you're an overnight success, that's awesome. Congratulations. But when you're not, like, you know, it's okay. You're going to have a million no's. It's going to take forever to get to where you want to be. But when you get there, it's like, oh, it's so fun. Like even me to be here talking to you right now, like, I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. You know, like I'm so honored to be here.
You know, I was so looking forward to this as well, because we haven't seen each other or talked to each other in quite a while. You know, a couple of messages back and forth, but now, you know, you're putting out the music, and I wanted to make sure we got you on and everything kind of worked out. So
much appreciated. And today, and it's funny, like even I think you must have went to school with one of my uncles or something, because he is always asking me, like, have you talked to Skip? Have you talked to Skip? Have you talked to Skip? I'm like, it's coming, I promise. So
do you know how long ago school was? I'm just saying. Not as long as you, or longer than you.
He still loves you. Even from North Carolina, he was so excited for this. So
well, I love him right back.
Everybody loves you.
Cool. It's pretty cool. Well, I don't know about that, but talk to my
We're gonna go with that.
We don't have to go there. If you could collaborate with anybody right now, right this minute, who would that be?
How about you? Let's put out a song. We could do it, right? Do you have singing, guitar, drumming talent?
No. If I sounded like this, let me see. If I sounded like this, maybe. Listen.
Is there any remedy?
You're too kind, man.
Broken heart that still bleeds. Show me how to sew it all up. Feeling like there's nothing left. Blend to it and cause and effect. You don't see the skin that you cut. I remember when you began the fire. Take me there again. If it's gonna make this right, I'd be willing to.
Aww.
That's you, girl. You know that. I haven't got to tell you, but
you're so kind to me. I love it. Thank you so much.
You know, that's the song that officially dropped today, although tomorrow's her birthday, but the great birthday present to yourself. Tell us a little bit about that song.
So the song was written about a year ago. It was last spring. I went to Indiana to work with Sahaj, who's my producer for this record, and fantastic. The song was originally written, I think, sort of as a love song in a really creepy way. But the scary thing is like it came out March 1st, and you know what's going on in the world. It feels like the end of the world with everything. So, like, I guess it can have multiple meanings. And oh, hold on one second. I have a guest.
It's okay.
Sorry to interrupt your interview, but
tell him to come in. Oh no.
So anyway.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Sam, sorry, he's been bugging me. He wants.
That's okay. That's okay. That's why we love doing podcasts, because anything goes and it's real life. I love this. Absolutely.
Sorry, he was climbing up on my lap. So I don't know.
What's his name? Real quick, then we'll continue.
He's a hammy.
What's his name?
Hammy.
Cammy. Hi,
Hammy
Cammy.
with an H, like a ham.
Hammy. Hammy. Bye, Hammy.
Sorry, he was up on my lap.
All good. It's all good. So tell us about the song. Yeah.
So the song was originally about like you know, during COVID, I think that people went through a lot of like change, whether it's relationships breaking up, you know, moving to other cities, just, you know, change that was drastic. And I think that the end of the world was sort of written to be about for those who sort of stuck with the relationships or stuck in their city or whatever, like you got through it. At the end of the day, like you're sort of going to the end of the world for that other person, for yourself, whatever. So, you know, that I think was the original, you know, sort of meaning of it. And the video that you're going to see, it's coming out on Tuesday. The way that sort of the song relates to me is my whole career. Like I've been working really hard to get here, and there's so many times where I wanted to quit, but at the end of the day, I've sort of gone to the end of the world with myself because I knew that 12-year-old me would want me to be doing this. So
exactly.
You'll see that next week, and when we finally put out this video we've been working so hard on, actually with Jordan, with Jack Media, who's from Syracuse. We shot it.
Yes, absolutely.
I love Jordan.
Yes, I didn't realize. Wow.
Absolutely. So the video is super cool. It's me, and actually we casted a mini me. Her name is Sophia Rivard. She's from New England as well.
Okay.
And we all went out there to Syracuse. It was 10 degrees, and we shot at Sylvan Beach.
Oh my
worst
gosh.
idea. Oh, it was awful. And that's why I don't come back to Syracuse. I'm just freezing. It was super cool, and hopefully everybody loves the video. And but I think also the end of the world, it's important right now because Ukraine and everything that's going on. It's crazy.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
Just weird timing, but
Yeah.
it is what you make of it.
Tell me about your mini me.
My mini me, she, like I said, she's Sophia Rivard. She's a young actress here in England. We had multitude of submissions, which was super humbling for me to do it. But she is actually, I know her mom. I actually ride horses with her mom every week. So,
oh wow,
and she looks a lot like me, so it was an easy choice. And she was like, it was her really first big acting gig, and she was just a natural. So. We were so lucky to have her, and hopefully it's like maybe not. What's the Bruce Springsteen when he pulls the girl?
Dancing in the Dark.
Yes, it might not be like that situation, but if it is, like, I'll be like, wow, cool. I knew that girl. She was I was her first gig.
There you go.
She was great. Absolutely. Everybody should check her out.
Yeah. So do you get to travel a little bit with what you're doing? Have you been to Nashville? I mean, obviously I work in the country music genre, but still it's music for everybody there. It's not just country. When you go to Nashville, there's rock, there's alternative, there's hip hop, there's pop, and of course there's a lot of country, and everything crisscrosses. It's a mix of everything.
Absolutely.
Do you get to go there?
Yeah, I was just there like maybe a month ago or so. The new management company that I'm with is based in Nashville. So we spent a lot of time, over the last year back and forth to get everything together. So I love Nashville. It's so fun. And I was looking at your pictures. Last week. You look like you're having a blast meeting all these superstars. I was so jealous.
Well, it's, pictures are one thing. What's really going on is another. There was a lot of meetings, during the day. We're all busy learning about radio. That I've been doing forever.
Where did they do it? Like Bridgestone? Was everything?
No, that was at the Omni Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Intimate and fancy.
No, it was pretty fancy, and they have it there every year. It's called the Country Radio Seminar, but it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of learning, but it's a lot of fun too, because at night everybody's, they're going to be doing their concerts. The artists want to meet you. They want to shake hands and get you to play their music. Kid Rock was there. It was just amazing. Amazing.
Awesome. I saw you were it looked like you were like 10 feet away from Keith Urban. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Did you? And it's, of course, this podcast isn't about me. It's about you. But anybody that's watching this, if you go to my Facebook page and look up the Keith Urban video, watch it all the way through and watch him at the end. It is just, it's still the talk at that whole seminar. I won't give it away, but watch it. It's amazing. Amazing.
It's the truth.
Just
I'm jealous. I was jealous.
That was at the Ryman. So, if you're in the Ryman, that's all very intimate. It's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
And that's a lunch that one of the record labels puts on for the conference. And of course, they bring out all their big stars. So, and they sing one song each, sometimes two. Keith Urban's, he put all his songs in the one big. It was pretty cool.
That's amazing. Wow. I'm so jealous.
So you could be there. You could be doing that. It doesn't necessarily have to be country. You could be on that stage, Molly Diago.
I would love to.
Esquire.
I mean, what a lineup to be among those folks. Like, holy cow.
Exactly. Do you sing in the shower?
Yes, I do. Do you sing in the shower? I'm going to get this scoop out of you.
I do until my wife tells me to shut up.
Aww.
Because I'm just kidding. No, I think everybody sings in the shower. I think so.
Speaking of family, how's my favorite guy? How's he doing?
Oh, Zach, he's good. He's doing real well. I told him I was going to be talking to you tonight. He's like, what? I go, yeah. But then he won't come down. I said, why don't you come down and hang out, in the pod zone. So.
I saw it right before we went live. I had a friend request from him. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, really? See, he knows. Yeah. He loves that.
It's excellent.
Absolutely. Let me see. I got some questions. I'm trying to think. How do you feel that this whole internet thing has impacted the music business for you?
Um,
There's so much going on, whether it's TikTok, the other avenues. I mean, all that.
It's really stressful for me because I feel like there's always a need to be putting out content that people want to react to. And like I said earlier, like even today I was melting down a little bit over my song because I posted and reposted the same thing like 4 times in a row because like, just not getting the engagement that you want. Like there's so much pressure to just constantly, have stuff that people want to see. And I think that's why my eyelashes get bigger and bigger because I got to keep people coming. So, that's how I see it. I'm kind of trying to figure out TikTok and stuff, but there's only so much time in the day to do it all. So
it doesn't happen overnight.
For sure. And I imagine like, it's funny, like with the radio stations, I've been looking, just checking some out that added my song and some are strictly just marketing. They're selling whatever ads that they're probably, advertisers have bought or whatever. And then others are really interactive with content and artists and everything like that. I imagine that you've had the same type of thing. Like you seem to be like the biggest sort of social media character for, your station. So
I am, we don't have a lot of people. So we only have, we're live all day. I mean, there's a woman that's on ahead of me. Then I do afternoons live. And pretty much that's it during the week. Our morning show is from Nashville, but they're live, but they're in Nashville. And then the evening show comes from Nashville as well. But yeah, between the two of us, and I have our weekend people, one of the guys, Justin, is a very, very good web guy. He's doing all our web stuff. And I do this. This is me. This is Skip Clark. This is what I do. It's the radio's over here, but this is my own podcast. And I take these interviews and I'll take clips from them and play them on the air. If I'm talking to a country artist, we talked to Martina McBride, we talked to Pam Tillis, we've talked to some of the big stars. I'll take clips of those and I use them on the air as well. I'll say, hey, I talked to, Martina last night and I asked her this and this is what she said. So
that's so cool. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, this has really grown for you into like,
it has.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And you have your whole studio. I love it.
We'll get you over here someday. Next time you're in town. Love to show it to you. But it's not about me. This is about you.
No, it's about everybody.
It's about Molly Diago, who's got a single that came out today. And I just played a clip of it a little while ago. If somebody wanted to listen to that song, can they go to do you have a website? Do the social media? Tell me about those.
Absolutely. Well, the song is streaming anywhere you can stream music, whether it be, Spotify, Apple Music, Shazam, whatever there is out there. And then, of course, you can call your radio stations now as of last week and request it, which is a big help to us. And we're on social media, every single platform that you can think of. I think Instagram, Facebook is the real big ones. I think there's a Twitter, whatever out there of me as well. TikTok, wherever where you can find me, I'll find you.
Now, can they buy your song on iTunes and you get a little percentage of that?
Absolutely. I think Amazon even too. Amazon, iTunes, Apple Music, there's a couple, I think 99 cents if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. But see, that benefits you, the artist, and it really helps out and you get support from your fans. Do you keep an eye on your numbers like on Spotify and things like that?
Like a hawk, especially today. It's hard with me because like I only have 2 other songs on my Spotify and they were 2 or 3 years old. So to keep traction was really difficult, but I see, numbers are starting to creep back up again. But a lot of times like with press and stuff, before they decide to publish your stuff, they're looking at your Spotify or they're looking at your YouTube, so like you always have to sort of keep a handle on it. And that's why I have a great team of folks who sort of have handled it for me this time, which takes some of the pressure off. So, but yeah, always.
What musicians do you really admire?
I think my all-time favorite and someone who just like is just unbelievable to me is Dave Matthews. Like I have loved Dave Matthews since I was a kid, and seeing his shows and just every album he puts out, it's just amazing. And the talent that guy has is just insane. So that's definitely one of my guys that it's just amazing. And I think also on that level, Bruce Springsteen is the same type of guy, like always so much material. The shows they put every ounce of their energy into the shows. And those types of things just, are so exciting to me, and they're inspiring to me. And, hopefully one day I'll have that sort of repertoire as well.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, it's hard. I don't know. I could be doing this, at the same place I am today. I always hope that every day will get a little better, but you never know, I guess, until you get there. So
back on the Skip Happens podcast. I get it.
Oh, I'll be here every year.
I'll be old and gray. You'll be young and beautiful as always. And bam.
Absolutely. I'll be right here.
Do you have a favorite song that you like to perform?
I don't even know. They're so new, I guess. We've only played a couple gigs with my songs, but I love
cover songs.
Oh, cover songs. I love Bon Jovi's Dead or Alive, I think is my very favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love it. On the countryside, okay, this is funny.
I was gonna go down there. Okay.
Yeah, on the countryside. So I was playing I think, I almost forget. Oh, Nothing Town. That was what it's called. And the bass player brought in this, and I was new to country at the time. I was always listening to rock, and so I was just sort of converting over to country, and now I'm like all in. Hillbilly Shoes by Montgomery Gentry. I love it.
Love it.
I made my band learn that song just in case we want to have some fun, on stage. I love it.
Oops. I'm here.
Still here.
I'm here. A little turbulence, but it's all good. Exactly. So, I mean, if I was to get in your car or truck, I don't know what you drive, or ride your horse, would there be, if I was to hit the radio, what would I hear?
Probably Howard Stern, to be honest.
Okay. No, that's
probably
okay.
Howard Stern.
Yeah. No, I get it. I
love talk radio. Absolutely.
Yeah, you do. And that goes with you being in the attorney. I forgot what I just had a brain for it.
It's funny, like most attorneys are listening to NPR and stuff, but me,
exactly.
like Howard Stern does it for me. Like it's the perfect amount of just nonsense that I can just focus on what I'm doing. And it's funny, like music, and a lot of my friends actually have shared the same sort of sentiment. Especially when you're in a record cycle, like I'm constantly listening to my own stuff and like freaking out that over every single thing. And so then I get so blown out from it. I don't want to listen to anybody else's stuff because it's always going to be better than mine in my head. And, in
your head. Remember, that's only in your head.
It's so hard though. So you turn on Howard Stern and, they're talking about ridiculousness, and it's just like all is well in the world again,
Well, it kind of, makes you smile. It's what you want.
For sure.
Totally
how about you? Well, do you play your own station in the car? Is that how it goes?
You know what? I know what happens on my station.
So you don't need.
Here's the deal. Because of the type of business that I'm in, I'm always listening to see what's going on around me.
Of course, that makes sense.
And once in a while I'll listen to my station to see how it sounds, how it flows. Right. But it's more important to me to listen to what's going on across the street. What's going on in another market, or I also have Sirius, so it's like I'm listening to the new music that's coming out. Like, and one of the stories that I could tell is a long time ago. I think it was Cole Swindell when he first came out, and I heard him on satellite radio before I heard him on terrestrial radio, and I went, that song, I got to play that song. I'm trying to think which one it was. It was quite a few years ago now, and I jumped on it right away, and it went on to be a big hit.
Sure.
So that's where I get a lot of the new music.
Yeah, you got to. And your station is it's family owned still, like small.
We're locally owned. I worked for Clear Channel for a lot of years, but in 2007 my life changed and went from the big corporate America scene to family oriented, private owner, locally owned and operated. Best move I ever made.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is awesome because all the decisions are made right here, right in our building. We don't have to worry about somebody in some city in Georgia or somewhere and, got to wait for them to tell us what to do. No, we do it all. We do it all.
Sure. That's awesome.
And it's almost like you as an independent artist, you make your own decisions for the most part.
For the most part. Yeah, for the most part.
Well, the same thing with us, So
It's much better, much better that way, and I mean, we're creatives at heart, right? So you want to maintain some control over what you're doing. So you believe in it, because if you don't believe it in anymore, like, what's the point of doing it,
Yeah. Molly, what's the best advice you've ever been given? Get your law degree. No.
Yeah, that was my mama. She's in here, I think, listening to me talk.
Yeah, I saw. Is her name Laura?
Her name is Laura. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her. Hello.
Locking my keys. Oh, useless talents is locking my keys in the car with the extra key in the glove compartment. That is one of my useless talents for sure. So yeah, I mean, always make sure that you have a backup. And for people who want to go into music, I think the one thing that the attorney came in handy was, first of all, a lot of record deals. And I'm speaking on the rock side. I don't really know much on
no.
But are really bad. Like, it's a known sort of thing that if you can avoid a record deal at this point, do it, because there's so many companies that are popping up called label services, and they will literally do everything for you that a label would do. But I mean, the catch is you pay for it. But if you're paying for it and something great happens, you retain 100% ownership of everything you're doing.
I love that.
My friends, and actually Hugo from Tantric is one of them. He had a major hit, like major blockbuster, that still garners like 400,000 streams a month. And he sees not a dollar of that because of how terrible his record deal is. And a lot of them are really predatory at times. So the attorney thing was great because I could earn money to sort of afford to do it my way. So I can retain ownership and I can still be on the radio and do all the things that people on a label can do. But also, rock is cheaper than country. So that's another thing. But,
really? I didn't know that.
Oh, a lot. Yeah.
Really?
For sure.
And why would that be? Why wouldn't it all be the same?
Yeah. The in terms of traction, number one is pop. Like, people instantly, every song you hear, maybe not every song, but most of the songs, it's millions of dollars of investment on the back end, on the front end, and maybe not that much, but a lot. Country is always number two, and then rock's at the bottom. Like, can go, and granted, this is just something I've learned from talking to so many different people, but the barrier to entry is a little bit lower if you're doing it yourself versus, but I imagine in country, it would be harder just because of the cost barriers, and that, labels might still be good there, but for us, it's not always the case. So
if Molly Diago can make a change in the industry, what would you change?
I think that I would really, my change would be a little weird. Like, I have so many friends that I just mentioned that were so wronged by their labels. I would love to see artists, when they are signed or when they are in a place where they're gaining traction, to have some sort of outlet for them to like learn real life skills. Because, for example, like my friend I just spoke about, like now that he's sort of on the back end of his career, he was, blown up in his 20s and 30s. And now that it's sort of coming down, he doesn't know how to balance a checkbook. He doesn't know how to do this. So I think
Right.
we need more support for artists, just to, have a backup and to, be taken care of in real life. Because I think it's something that nobody thinks about, especially if these guys are making a lot of money, but it's a real problem, I think, in my opinion. And I think that would be something that I would really advocate for, is like almost education, I guess. But yeah.
But they got Molly Diago Esquire to help them out with anything that.
And they need to stop, because my book is full. It's full.
Well, you know what? I say that because we're proud of you and what you've accomplished and what you've done with your life. You set your goals. You've planned ahead. If this doesn't work out, I have this. You know what I mean? So that's pretty awesome. And for a woman your age, I mean, you're ahead of it already. You're doing really well.
Another year older in a couple hours, but yes, absolutely. Yes. Well, thank you, and you always are so supportive of me. Always. And that's the best thing. That's the best thing, is to have support, especially from home, because I meet all the time, and I love all y'all.
If you watch the podcast once in a while, and we have these other independent artists on, you'll notice that both Deb, who's usually here with me, we're both very supportive of those independents, because we know it's an uphill battle. We know that, you're climbing that mountain, and you have dreams of being on that big stage someday, but
absolutely,
but you can't afford to be with the big labels. And there's a lot of that going on. And you mentioned just a few minutes ago that, about not being with those big labels.
No.
And
You don't need them
that happen.
anymore. Absolutely. And like I said, on the rock side, you really don't need them anymore. And but the biggest thing is if you're going to bypass the label, like you have to have a source of income to do it. And so that's sort of what the lawyer thing has enabled me to do, if anything. And hopefully I will never have to step foot in a court ever. But, you know,
did you read Vinny's notice? Did you read Vinny's note on there?
Yeah, he has me suing 18 million people for all nonsense. So yeah, we're suing Iran, we're suing this, we're suing American Airlines, we're suing everybody.
Molly, I need your help. Molly, can I call you? I need some advice. Can we do this? No, I know.
The lawsuit's going. That's funny.
Yeah, you're awesome. Once again, before I let you go tonight,
thank you so much.
Where can we get your music? I want everybody to know where to go.
Everywhere, but
everywhere.
Hopefully Spotify is the good one. Spotify, Apple Music, you know, whatever. Call your radio stations and hope for the best. Cross your fingers. And
if they want to, you have a website that they can go to?
I do. MollyDago.com.
Diago.
Mm-hmm.
Molly Diago, the birthday girl.
Thank you so much. And once again, like seriously, everything that you do, and I speak for probably everybody who's been on the show. No, I'm not going to stop because it's so important. And I remember before all this sort of came together for me, like I came to your studio and we played with Nothing Town because I think we're opening some show that you guys are putting on.
That's right. It was a Christmas thing, I believe.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember the Christmas thing at what's that hotel?
It was the Maplewood Suites.
Maplewood
and
Suites.
it was snowing like a mother. You know what?
We had just flown in from somewhere like warm. And then I remember driving through an absolute blizzard to come jam that show, but it was so fun. And everything that you do for Syracuse musicians, especially, because I know you talk to people from all over the country, but yes. I got to rep the Syracuse folks because everybody appreciates you so much. And I hope that you continue to do this. And both you and Zach and Deb. Honestly, I don't think Deb's ever, I've never had the pleasure of speaking with Deb. But
she's a wonderful woman. You'll love it. And what she does and what she knows. And she's the business side of things. I'm just the guy that asks the questions and rambles on and makes no sense. So, but we make a good, when we do this together, it works out really well. She's never done anything like this till we met. And then I got her involved and we kind of help each other out now. And, she was in Nashville with me just a little while ago and last week. And we just, we hit it off and we met a lot of the artists that we've had on the show because you're right. We talk to a lot of people, not only here in the United States and country artists here, but we have friends in Australia.
Oh my God.
We have them in Romania. And I tell you, some of these in London. And it's fun because when I do I'll interview an artist in Australia, this time would be their lunchtime the next day.
Sure.
And here it is, it's 20 degrees here. And I'll ask what the temperature is there. And they'll go, oh, it's about 85. And, they break it down in Celsius, but still it's crazy.
That's amazing. That's crazy. Well, I mean, you guys have grown and so fast. Like, I don't know how long you've been doing it, 3 or 4 years, but that's you're so legit. I love it.
Well, we love you, Molly. And hopefully, you've taken time out of your day to join me and talk about where you are and where you're going and what you've done. Everything. And I really would love to come I'd love to see you come out, or I'd love to come out and see you play. And if you're in the area, I don't know, you got to let us know. Absolutely. And we'll definitely put it on our podcast website that you're in town.
Thank you. Yeah. A little birdie told me that I'm coming back soon to do a gig. So I will see if we can make a special stop and say hello to you.
Yeah. You're always welcome. The pod zones. I call it the pod zone. It's always open. All my friends. It's an open door policy.
I will expect your useless talent at that time.
Let me think about it. Okay. I know it. That's a tough question. Before I let you go, I love it when somebody like myself is doing a podcast, when the guest ask a question back. I think that's awesome. Aww. And we had a couple of weeks ago, I had this artist on. She's actually an actress. She relocated from LA to New York. Her name's Kelly Monroe Dowdle. And she goes, I want to ask you a question. I go, sure, what? She goes, when was the last time you cried?
Aww.
And it was like, I'm going, wow. There was like, you could hear a pin drop. It's like,
sure, I bet.
So I said, I think it was when I lost my mom a few years ago. I have to, it made me think a little bit. But, and then she goes, okay, Deb, when was the last time you cried? Then I'm like, when was the last time you cried? And, and so she opened up a little bit, but that creates a great conversation. And
Absolutely.
It's pretty awesome. So I really appreciate you asking questions back.
I appreciate you answering the questions. I think that,
But I didn't.
well, I think in order you did, I think in order to have a really great discussion, it's good to, like you said, it's good to ask questions and have some back and forth. And
Absolutely.
I appreciate you so much. I want to learn more about you, like singing in the shower and useless talents,
Well, that's it. I found out you like mini cakes.
I
You
love
sing
that.
in the shower.
I
You got a
do.
dog, Hammy.
He
God,
said hello.
this is awesome. And you ride horses, and you support racehorses. And you're
Absolutely.
so it's pretty cool. Molly, you're awesome. Thank you for joining us here tonight.
Thank
And
you.
happy birthday. Enjoy it. You
Thank
deserve
you.
it.
I will. Thank you so much. I hope I'll see you soon.
Right back at you. It's Molly Diago, everybody. And for all your friends that are here with us, I know we had a lot of people watching tonight. If you want to subscribe to Skip Happens, it's on YouTube. Just go right somewhere up there. I don't know where it is. I see when I point, it's always the opposite because of the camera. I have no idea, but you'll find it. It's all there.
Do it. Subscribe.
All right. Everybody, we love you. Thank you. And take care,
Bye,
Molly.
guys.
You're awesome. Hang on there. All right. Bye, everybody. Peace out. Thanks for watching.
Adios.